Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending upon where you are. My name is Gary Fowler, and I am the CEO, president, and co founder of GSD Get You Done Venture Studios, a premier AI and quantum venture studio located in the heart of Silicon Valley, Palo Alto, California. I've done 17 startups and I've been involved in 2 unicorns. I was on the original management team at Click Software, which was sold to Salesforce for $1.35 billion, and also Eva.ai, an AI HR tech company that I co-founded with Dr. David Yang. Love artificial intelligence and quantum. I'm also the CEO, president, and co-founder of GSD, which is a venture studio, as I said. So I'd like to introduce my incredible guest, Michal Zálešák. He is the co-founder and managing partner of Lighthouse Ventures in the beautiful city of Prague in the Czech Republic. He also was the managing director of the ICT Alliance and did a lot of speaking engagements from South America to Kazakhstan to Russia, Japan, etc. And that ICT Alliance is Czech Trade, which has 150 plus members. And let me tell you, it is a robust scene in the Czech Republic. So with that, Michal, how are you doing, Michal?
Hi, Gary. Thank you very much for a lovely intro, and good morning to all the listeners and viewers from the Prague, Czech Republic. So it's like a heart of Europe, and I must say that I envy your weather because we have like 4 degrees Celsius, which I don't know how to translate into Fahrenheit, but it's about like a freezing temperature. So like lucky you.
No, well, I grew up in Pennsylvania on a farm. On the side of a mountain. And let me tell you, it was really, really cold growing up. So I know what it's like. And I also lived in Moscow for a few years and would travel out to Siberia. So I know what cold's all about. But let me tell you, Michal, it does suck. I don't like it.
Thank you very much for being honest. Yeah.
My grandparents.
I was also growing up in the farm. So it's like we share some past.
It's it's just something about warm weather. It just makes you feel a little bit better. But let me tell you always have your thermostat. You can turn the heat up, right? Here in the Christmas time, what we did, my wife said, it doesn't seem like it's Christmas. And I just turned the air conditioner down to 62. I have to put a sweater on. You know what I mean? We put the fireplace on. So, and listen, so tell me a little bit about, Prague is a beautiful city. I mean, why are there so many incredible companies coming out of Prague? It's just unbelievable. It's like, here you are with Lighthouse. I just spoke at the Software World Summit, the Startup World Summit there. Why is it there are so many companies that are coming out of Prague? Is there just something in the water, or is it because of the ecosystem, or what?
Yeah, it must be connected to the water and to the treatment that we give to young kids. No, honestly, there is a big movement in Prague or like in the Czech Republic that people or students instead of like, hey, I want to go to KPMG and do my whole life there. There is like this startup movement, and everybody's crazy about having their own startup, doing something, and even people from like big corporations are moving to the startup direction and just like want to get rich or want to do something, want to change their lives because they are bored. They already made a lot of money, but they love challenges. So it's like a lot of money in it there. So it is not only about like bootstrapping, but you can see also some unicorn cases down here, which inspires a lot of people because you can make a lot of money. It is not like I'm just bootstrapping in the garage and there is nothing out from that, but you see success stories that motivate other people to join the movement.
Talk about what are a couple of the success stories that are kind of the Czech Republic. What are some of the ones that you know personally?
Yeah, it's a Rohlik. It's a food delivery, which is currently the unicorn operating in many countries. And then there are a few others like Product Board, which is the product design software, and then we use like a hotel management and some others. And typically it's like a B2B software. Rohlik started out as like a B2C company, operate as the excellence operation. But otherwise, you can see many B2B startups coming from this part of the world and like shining globally. I know that's like a Silicon Valley and other spots where you can see many B2C stars like Instagram. Once was a small startup, but from this part of the world, you see mainly B2B like. From other country, UiPath and all these big software companies that take much more time to like to build and at scale. But once at scale, like they are superstars. They are not successful overnight. It obviously takes time, but they are there in this part of the world, not just from the Czech Republic, but in the neighboring countries as well.
So what do they do? So Mike, what's the path? So a company wants to become a unicorn, right? What do they do? Because the Czech Republic isn't that big. What do they do? What's the next step from their perspective? Where do they go? What do they do?
Well, it mainly depends about the setup and scalability of their product or of their service offering. Because if they are like from day one, they have like a multinational website. Their product is accessible from multiple countries. I mean languages. Then their mindset is like a unicorn mindset. I need to build something global. I have the scaling purpose. Like I'm not building an accounting software where I need to have like a Czech legislation, German legislation, and like go country by country. But these products that have easy scaling setup, so it begins with the mindset that is easily scalable, and you don't need to bother about like legislation and about all individual aspects. So that is the correct setup of being the unicorn coming from this region. Because once you start messing up with the legislation, it is not like the United States, one big country, but here it's very much fragmented and also language wise it's like Babylon. So you need to think about like there are not all the people like speaking English, but
What's
if you want to start,
the population do you think it speaks English in Prague?
well, it's like in my opinion, it's like 60% that you can like speak to. In some categories, like my age, I'm not that young and younger, so it's like pretty much like a 90s something, because you have also like a native like German speaking of French speaking who started, but they have some knowledge of English. So it definitely helps. But you in order to like scale in Europe, you need to think like, okay, I cannot speak just English, which is much better for you guys in the States. Like you roll it to the US, you roll it like Canada, and then here we go, the unicorn is here. But like the fragmentation in Europe, it's much more difficult to scale to unicorn status.
I mean, a lot of the companies that we talk to, want to go to Silicon Valley and use it as a port to the rest of the world. I hear that a lot. And I asked them why. And they said because of the valuations are sometimes higher, because the access to network and communications to be able to be close to people. I mean, are you hearing the same thing?
Yeah. Well, like for many of them, it's like they are scaling in Europe to start, but then they are going to the States where the valuations are much higher. But they have the benefits of having the development team here in the either Czech Republic or like CE in general. But the technical talent is there. Well, not that much sales talent, but it's changing. And then having the salespeople and the top management sitting in the US, like Silicon Valley, like one of the success stories, like Product Board that I mentioned, that they do the same. Like engineering is here; they enjoy much lower wages, and then the sales and other companies are in the Silicon Valley, and few companies of our portfolio, they started as Czech companies, and then they established like a parent entity in the US, transfer all the IP. So it is not just the sales office, but the team is relocating there. So actually few companies chose this route, and I believe it is a viable one, because their it is not just the funding is there, but for these companies, the customers there. So it's like the nature rule is like be close to customers, be incorporated there, and if you have customers there, then just go and ask for the funding, because there are a few programs like go there for a week, you will get funding. So obviously that it doesn't work, and you need to have people such as your connection and programs such as you do to prepare them locally here, and then go to the States. And you need to have a lot of money. You need to spend a lot of time there to get credibility, to get customers, because flying to the US with the Czech or a European phone number on your on your business card is not a big help. So.
No, I agree with you. And what is the difference between valuations, in your opinion, between a company getting funding in the Czech Republic and then Silicon Valley? What is it? Is it 2x, 3x? What's the difference? How different are the valuations?
Yeah, it's it's a 3x, 3 to 5, not just the valuation, but also the ticket size. Obviously, there are a few sectors which are overhyped at the moment, like quick commerce, where we have also one player, and some other sectors which are very, very hot. So the valuations obviously are crazy here in Europe. For instance, Flink, which is the quick commerce of the quick food delivery startup, it became a unicorn in the food delivery segment, operating in Germany, and became the unicorn status in less than a year since the inception. So you see also the crazy stuff is happening in Europe. But it's better naturally to start in your home country, like Czech Republic, get funding here, because what you can normally get here, to start, you can in the idea stage you can get from €500,000 to €1,000,000. From the US perspective, it will not move you a lot, but since the salaries are much lower here, then you can nicely start.
What is it? Let's say there's an engineer, a software engineer with 3 to 5 years worth of experience. How much could you expect in US dollars for that person to be paid?
Well, it's obviously Czech Republic is the capitalist, so you don't have to sit in Prague, but I'm confident that with $5,000 to $6,000 per month for this type of engineer. Plus, of course, they are working for the startup, so they have other benefits such as equity. Because for the startup, the motivation should not be only about this is the money you will be having the same money as more money than in IBM. So it's maybe it's the wrong startup that is pitching itself come here for high salaries than you have in IBM, but you have other perks like stock options, and that should be the main motivator. Because when we see startups and they are saying okay, so I'm the founder and I had XYZ money in IBM and I want the same. So it's go to see other investors. It's a different story, guys.
So what's the average salary in the Czech Republic in general? I'm trying to scale. What is it? The cost of living. What's a 2-bedroom apartment flat rent?
Well, it's the average salary in the Czech Republic. It's 17 or 1800 or 1600 to $1,700 per month across the Czech Republic. But the funny situation is that in public sector, the average salary is higher than in private sector, which is
how can that be?
I don't know, because
that's the first time I've ever heard that in my life.
Yeah. It's crazy because it's they are pay. Everybody's complaining. Yeah, I need to work in the public sector, but the average salary is higher in the public sector in comparison to private sector, which has many factories and low paid jobs. But I'm also
that's amazing.
Crazy about this.
I've never heard that in my life. That's really amazing. What kind of startups are you seeing, Michael? What kind of startups are really interesting for you that are coming out of the Czech Republic?
As I say, we see mainly B2B, because B2B, it's about like
B2B AI, B2B what exactly?
okay,
The
okay, sorry, like yeah, B2B AI, where you see some interesting IP, where you see some interesting knowledge, like a hardcore PhD guys working on some hardcore algorithms in the AI of various applications, such as quality inspection, or such as fraud detection, or other parts. I don't mean like a copycats of what works in the US, and there is like no added value, and they are just copycats who want to be cheaper. But I'm talking about, as you say, like AI stuff, because the engineering talent is there, and if you aim to unicorn and then you end up being acquired for a few $100 million, that's still a good success, right?
Yeah, no, that's fantastic success. Wouldn't turn that away. So the and what about in other parts of the region? Are you just investing in the Czech Republic, or do you invest in other parts of Europe?
No, no, no. Some investments into teams coming to the Czech Republic from Poland and Lithuania, and actually one team from Germany. Because and of course Slovakia, because like Slovakia used to be Czechoslovakia, so it's like brothers and sisters who used to be the same nation. So it's like it's easy to invest in the region where you have easy reach out to the people, because in other competitive markets like UK, France, then it's a highly competitive market, and you cannot win the best deals.
And then so where else? So Estonia's traditionally been a real powerhouse. It's a small country. You're saying Latvians are moving. Why are Latvians moving to the Czech Republic?
Like Lithuanians, we work with other acceleration programs that provides us some small funding, and like sub 100,000 euros, and then we offer them 500 to 1,000 euros to 1 million euros. And then there is also the customer base in here, because they are doing like banking as a service, and we have strong fintech partners and strong fintech base in the Czech Republic. So we try to add not just money to our investment, but also like a more personal touch and connections, not just to potential customers, but also to potential like follow-on investors, because this is the biggest help that you can provide to the startup, like connect them with someone who will be giving them money. For instance, we invested into one company coming from Poland. We didn't even put all the money in the second tranche, and they are already in advanced discussions with follow-on investors who will be putting like 10 times more money at 8 times more valuation, like and we are sending money at the same time as like they are closing the discussions, basically. So
Wow.
the pace is there, and it's at our stage, it's mainly about founders, because what we do, we have big network of follow-on investors in the CE or in Europe in general, and we ask them about the sweet spot, and that's what they say is like, if they have a 100,000 euro monthly plus, then like send us in our direction. We want to see them, but we don't hear much. We don't hear many times like, yes, we also do these crazy guys who have just pitch deck and even pre product. So this is our sweet spot, and this is where we believe there is not as much competition, because it's easy to invest into winners that found product market fit and that want money for scaling. But like who the crazy guys who need to get there, and bootstrapping is very difficult. If you need team, if you need like more people, and you need resources, so it's
Well, there's
tricky.
always never enough money, right? I mean, for the most part, there's never enough money and never enough time. And do you find companies moving into the Czech Republic or moving out of the Czech Republic?
Well, it depends on the stage. Down the road, we want them to move their sales and move their activities outside the Czech Republic. For some of them that have like enterprise sales, they need to have like real people outside. But for them that have like simple B2B, that is like a few $100, and it's like a marketing game on performance marketing, then it is just like okay, you need to have a foreign speaking people and marketing done in proper way, and you can do this from the Czech Republic. Of course, you need to have like your support operating at the same time as where your customers are based, but it's different story. But for instance, like a food delivery and all these things that have the physical touch, of course, they need to scale. The market is here. And there is a big benefit of Czech Republic being the small country, because people, if they want to succeed, they need to move abroad. For instance, Poland, it's 40 million people roughly. We have like small market of 10 million people, and many startups just to stay in the Polish market because it's good enough for them. But also in Israel, when the Israelis and these small countries like Estonia, Lithuania, when they want to be successful, their natural thinking is like, yeah, I will be starting here, but I will be expanding as soon as possible because I cannot be self-sufficient in my market. And it's a big problem of big markets because people in the big markets tend to be lazier in their foreign approach and in their foreign expansion, because they're like, yeah, I'll be staying in my home market. This is the safe spot for me. And I will be staying here because I will be maximizing the potential of a local market. And then they are delaying the global market, and they are benchmarking themselves against the competition in their home market. But it doesn't mean that if you are king in the big kingdom, then your neighboring kingdom, or there are other kingdoms that are much more powerful than you are. And this is very you need to be like to compete with the big players on the big market, because like just being small or just being less expensive than the competition, it is not the right strategy to scale.
All right, listen, we're coming up to the end of the show. Closing comments, and how do people get a hold of you?
Like I'm easily available on LinkedIn, or my email is also easily available. Michael at lhv.vc, like VCS Venture Capital, not the WC. And we are happy to invest into startups coming from C region mainly, and we don't mind like looking at idea stage startups as some other funds do. So we are open to give you half an hour of our time and our feedback on your next venture.
And how do people get a hold of you?
Like in what sense?
Twitter, LinkedIn, what's the best way? Email?
Yeah, the best way is LinkedIn, as I said, and email and WhatsApp. So it's like
okay. What's your email address so they know?
My email address is Michal, which is written on my stream here, at LHV, like Lighthouse Ventures .vc.
All right, sounds great. Michal, thanks for taking time out of your busy schedule. To my audience, thank you very much. I appreciate you joining another edition, another episode of GSD Presents Silicon Valley AI and Tech. And I'm your host, Gary Fowler. Stay tuned again for next Tuesday when we come back for another exciting edition. Thanks, everybody. Stay safe, stay happy, and stay healthy. And I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, Gary.